beautiful day begins with a positive mindset. Teach self-denial and make its practice pleasure, and you can create for the world destiny more sublime than ever issued from the brain of the wildest dreamer. Welcome to Kings TV, where we play to you with news happening in and out of our country. What is your take on the first and second batch of nominated cabinet secretaries? Send your views on our social media platforms, Facebook at Kings TV, YouTube at Kings Fraternity. But first, let's take a quick check on the highlights. Enough is enough. President Ruto switched to a combative tone, taking the battle to proponent of the recent anti-government protest. President Ruto dismissing all the cabinet secretaries and nominating the first 11 batch of cabinet secretaries after 9 days. Kenya opposition group not in talk with the president of cabinet slots. Welcome to the broadcast. I am Mary Kimani. In his first appearance since naming his first 11 squads of the cabinet on Friday, President William Ruto on Sunday attended a church service at Bomet County. It is here that he switched to a combative tone, taking the battle to the proponent of recent anti-government protest. Felix Mbogo explains more on this report.
In his first appearance since naming his first 11 squad of the cabinet on Friday, President William Ruto Sunday attended a church service at African Gospel Church in Bomet County. It is here that the president switched to a combative tone, taking the battle to proponent of the recent anti-government protest.
Going forward, we will protect the nation. Going forward, we will protect the nation. We will protect life. We will protect property. We will stop the looters. We will stop the killers. We will stop mayhem. We will stop anarchy, because Kenya is a democracy and we want a peaceful, stable nation.
The president, after the church service, stepped out his guns, firing the Gen Zs, saying he had conceded enough from them. The president also stated that he will not fall to any further pressure. The remarks comes after President Ruto named half of his cabinet, restating 6 of the former cabinet secretaries he had fired a week earlier. The cabinet had been dissolved following the youth-led protest that started mid last month. President Ruto has drawn line to the sand, saying there will be no more protest in Kenya.
My name is Paminas. Kama Gen Z, kama young people, we actually tunaangalia the katiba venye inasema. Katiba inasema kuna freedom of speech. If kama tunaona gava iko poa, then we have a freedom of speech. We can speak, we can express what we feel is not good about this government. Kama ni story za kugovern, we are ready to talk about that. Kama si jezetu just feel, kama aja satisfies ni zetu, he's the president. He's supposed to listen to us, not to do his things, and that's the freedom of speech, and that's democracy.
Enough is enough. No more protests in Kenya. Those are words from President William Ruto in Bomet County, condemning the protests that were ongoing in Kenya. And he says that he will continue protecting his country. According to some views in Kiambu County, the Gen Z says that they are not ready to retreat for the protest. Reporting for Kings TV, my name is Mbogo Felix.
Following the public anger, President Ruto decided to reconsider his stand on finance bill. However, President Ruto delayed his response to the matter, and this opened door of insertion of other issues by the Gen Z. Christine Omboi has more.
In the past few weeks, there have been an ongoing demonstration led by the Gen Z movement, protesting against the 2024-2025 finance bill, leading them to take various social media platforms to express their frustration with the current government led by President William Ruto. Following the public anger, President William Ruto decided to reconsider his stand on the finance bill. However, President William Ruto delayed his response to the matter, and this opened door of insertion expansion of other issue by the Gen Z, who came up with a list of demands, one of it being the dismissal of all cabinet secretaries. President Ruto decided to dismiss all the cabinet secretaries, and after 9 days, President Ruto nominated the first 11 batch of cabinet secretaries to replace those fired in a landmark announcement on 11th of July. However, the list contained 6 fired cabinet secretaries who made a comeback in different ministries. The first 11 batch is as it follows: Professor Kithure Kindiki, Ministry of Interior and National Administration; Dr. Deborah Barasa, Ministry of Health; Alice Wahome, Minister of Lands, Public Works, Housing and Urban Development; Julius Migosi, Minister of Education; Aden Duale, Minister of Defense; Dr. Andrew Mwehia, Minister of Agriculture and Livestock Development; Soy Pantuya, Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Forestry; Eric Muga, Minister of Water, Sanitation and Irrigation; Davis Chirchir, Minister of Roads and Transports; Margaret Ndungu, Minister of Information, Communication and Digital Economy; Rebecca Miano, Anthony General. And on 25th of July, President Ruto announced the second batch of cabinet secretaries nominees, and they include Kipchumba Murkomen, Youth Affairs, Creative Economy and Sports; Opiyo Wandayi, Energy and Petroleum; Alfred Mutua, Labor and Social Protection; Hassan Joho, Mining, Blue Economy and Maritime Affairs; John Badi, National Treasury and Economy Planning; Justin Muturi, Public Service; Salim Vuria, Trade, Investment and Industry; Stella Rangat, Gender, Culture, Arts and Heritage; Rebecca Miano, Tourism and Wildlife.
Majina ni Telvin Kimani Dagwadha. My take is, personally I think he did well, but on the side that he retained some of them, I don't think that was right, because some of them are corrupt, maybe, yeah.
I managed to enter in Kiambu town and interacted with some of the netizens who said that the president would have not reshuffled the cabinet secretary rather than to dissolve them totally. Reporting for Kings TV, Kiambu town, I'm Wamboi Nyakabi.
The ODM party has denied allegations that it is in talks with President Ruto to join the Kenya Kwanza government by fronting members in new cabinet. I will take you through on this report.
The ODM party has denied allegation that it is in talks with President William Ruto to join the Kenya Kwanza government by fronting members into the new cabinet. According to Azimio Party Secretary Edwin Sifuna, any of their members who take up a cabinet slot in the reconstituted cabinet will be deemed to have acted on their own. Among issues raised by ODM before a formal engagement with the government includes compensation for protest victims, release for protesters from police custody, dropping of protest-related cases, prosecution of protest killers' corpse, and sacking of Nairobi Region Police Commander Adamson Bungei. Cracks have emerged in the opposition after Azimio coalition parties rejected overtures from President Ruto, with more opposition coming from within ODM party. However, on Wednesday evening, President Ruto nominated 4 ODM leaders to cabinet. He nominated John Badi as Treasury CS, Opiyo Wandayi as Energy CS, Hassan Joho nominated as CS Mining and Blue Economy, and Wycliffe of Paranya nominated as CS Cooperatives. While the opposition coalition lying to Kenya's 30 members who take up a cabinet slot will be deemed to have acted on their own.
But the question is, were the Azimio coalition lying to Kenyans about the 4 nominated CS? Kings TV, Mary Kemani.
Let's take a commercial break and we'll be right back. Welcome back. In recent weeks, Kenya has witnessed remarkable demonstration led by young demographic Gen Z who have protested against finance bill. These demonstrations have proven that the voices of the youth cannot be dismissed. Our reporter Frida Kahiga explains.
In recent weeks, Kenya has witnessed a remarkable demonstrations led by young demographic Gen Z who have protested against the 2024 finance bill. These demonstrations have proven not to be more than just fleeting movements. They had a clear message to the government that the voices of the youths cannot be dismissed. Some readers initially underestimated their influence. President William Ruto had recognized their significance and has vowed to engage with them. Gen Z now entering the workforce in significant numbers, driving changes not only in the political arena but also in the corporate world. I managed to pay a visit in Kiambu town and interacted with one of the Gen Z, where he had said that the Gen Zs are protesting against their rights, and also he had asked the police who are in the street during those demonstrations not to attack their lives when they are performing the demonstrations in the street.
My name is Ben Mark Ragot, and I'm the chairperson Young Kenyans Professional and Elites Unite, which was registered sometimes back in 2011. I would say that I support their protest simply because it's a time that Kenyans, we are coming out to really fight for our rights, and I'm happy to see the young people coming out, and they've spoken so loudly and so broadly, and I feel I'm in completely support in regards to whatever is happening. I'm pleading to the president that I wish that he is able to really find an amicable way of solving this issue. The issues that the Gen Zs have raised are very pertinent issues which require the government to comply, and I believe if the president is able to comply with the issues which Gen Zs have raised, and I think we're in a better place to sort out this nation and this country.
In recent week, the Gen Zs have been protesting against the Finance Bill 2024. Speaking with one of the Gen Zs, they have asked the government not to harm them when they are performing their demonstrations in the street. Reporting for Kings TV, Frida Kahiga, Kiambu County.
After the proposed raise of road maintenance levy by the government from 18 shillings to 25 shillings per litre of fuel, despite a pledge by the former Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen that the government would not go against concerns raised by Kenyans. Fidelis Kenya has more.
After the proposed raise of road maintenance levy by the government from 18 shillings to 25 shillings per litre of fuel, despite a pledge by the former Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen that the government would not go against concerns raised by Kenyans during the public participation exercise. Transport sector has claimed that the government did not listen to their views before affecting the increase that is costing them every day. Players in the transport sector have opposed the hike and noticed to the government demanding that the increase of the road maintenance levy to be reversed. Led by the chairperson of the Motorist Association of Kenya, Pita, the sector says that the jump from 18 shillings to 25 shillings has put the sector under extreme economic pressure. In addition, they are demanding the disbandment of the Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority and reimbursement of the money that has been collected through the levy since the 15th of July.
Kwa majina yangu ni Anthony Mungai, natoka hapa Kiambu, na mimi ni mfanyikazi hapa Kiambu, nafanya na matatu. Kwa maoni yangu sikubaliani na hiyo maneno. Hiyo maneno haiko poa kwa sababu wanajaribu kutuongezea tax and yet yenye iko pia inatunyanyasa sisi wananchi.
And those are some of the views of the matatu operators in Kiambu town, where they disagree with the hike of the road maintenance levy, saying that they are still small business operators. Reporting for Kings TV, Kiambu town, I'm Fidelis Mwirigi.
Social Health Insurance Fund is a flagship project under President Ruto administration aimed to ensure equality and access to health care for all Kenyans. Jane Gedi will take us through on this report.
President William Ruto introduced the National Health Insurance Fund with the aim of helping Kenyans in their hospital bills. NHIF has been pivotal in providing healthcare coverage. It has recently undergone significant reforms to change healthcare needs. On the other hand, Social Health Insurance Fund is a flat Ruto administration aimed to ensure equality and access to healthcare for all Kenyans. This initiative emphasizes on affordability to the citizens. SHIF introduces an income-based percentage system with everyone contributing to 2.75%, that is 300 Kenyan shillings of their salary, compared to NHIF, each contributing 500 per month. President Ruto said that the reason why he prefers SHIF over NHIF is because NHIF is limited and only captures a small portion of the society. Secondly, added that there are so many Kenyans who cannot afford the 500 shillings, hence there is need for the SHIF, which will only need 300. President Ruto urged Kenyans to register to SHIF and that whoever will not be able to pay, the government would pay for him or her.
The reason why we are shifting from NHIF to SHIF is because NHIF is limited. NHIF only captures a small section of our society. It is my intention, as I made a commitment to the public, that every Kenyan must have two things: must have access to healthcare and must have access to health insurance.
However, some of the civilians said that there is no need of the president to give promises that he will not fulfill, hence they prefer the NHIF, which they know. The citizens also added that they are fully disappointed in the government, especially the county government of Kiambu, led by Kimani Matangi, saying that even if they have applied the NHIF and they pay for it, there are no medicine in the hospitals, hence pleading with the government to solve that problem.
Naitwa Jerusha Kirote, naishi Kiambu. NHIF imenisaidia sana juu kuna wakati nilikuwa na shida ya meno na waliniweka meno, lakini kwa saa hii haifanyi hivyo. Unajua sasa nafaa kuprefer yenye tulikuwa tunatumia. Hii yenye inakuja hatujui iko aje. Labda mwenye anaitoa atuelezee vile itasaidia. Na zile facilities itakuwa inasimamia. Lakini NHIF yenye tunajua ile ya kitambo ama yenye inatumiwa saa hii si mbaya.
President William Ruto have introduced the Social Health Insurance Fund, saying it is cheap and affordable, despite the court saying it is unconstitutional. Reporting for Kings TV, I'm Gethi Jane, Kiambu County.
Let's have a commercial break and we'll be right back with business news. Welcome back. Small business traders are being affected by a number of challenges. I managed to visit Kiambu Market. Let's take a look on what is happening.
The only way to do a great work is to do what you love. I'm here at Kiambu Market and I managed to meet one of the mama mboga. Tuambie jina lako.
Kadhiri Wanjiru.
Ulianza nini ilifanya uanze hii biashara?
Hii biashara nilianza juu mimi ni mkulima. Na nimeanza ni ndio watoto ndio tegemeo yangu. Nisomesha watoto. Tukure.
Kwa hiyo venye maisha ni ngumu, ama ni mangumu gani mnapitia?
Tunapitia juu mbegu ziko na bei kali. Fertilizer iko na bei kali, kila kitu ni bei kali. Mpaka tunalima na stima bado tu ni bei kali.
Ni mazuri gani ambayo umeona kwa hii biashara yako?
Mazuri ile nimeona juu nasomesha watoto na hii biashara. Tunakula na mambo mengi.
Ungependa kuambia mtu mwenye angependa kuanza hii biashara, ungependa kumwambiaje?
Sio baya, juu ukulima sio baya. Hakuna kazi baya.
Naitwa Julius Liza. Ni vile sikuwa na kazi nyingine, nikaona wacha nianze hii biashara ya kuuza gazeti nipate kipato. Tunapitia matatizo mengi kwa sababu unaweza ukazileta ukakuta watu hawapendelei sana kwa sababu wanasoma kwenye mitandao. Mazuri tu ni kuuza, siku kuuza unapata pesa yako kidogo yenye inakufaa kufanyia mambo yako.
Success usually come to those people who are too busy looking for it. Those are some of the views of business persons. Reporting for Kings TV, I'm Mary Kimani.
Let's have another commercial break. We'll be right back with international news. Welcome back. President Joe Biden of United States has exited the political stage in isolation. Our reporter Christine Wambui has more on this report.
President Joe Biden of United States has exited the political stage in isolation after the past few weeks of fighting for his political life, insisting he was not going anywhere following a devastating debate performance. The face of President Joe Biden did not come in a speech on the campaign trail. Instead, it came in a letter posted to social media on 20th of July that he has withdrawn himself from the re-election race and he threw his support behind his vice president Kamala Harris, saying that her vice president will be nominated by 7th of August. As it is described, President Joe Biden's pressure has come from the donors, party leaders, and he could not withstand the push behind the scenes and in public. Reporting for Kings TV, I'm Wamboi Nyokabi.
Anti-government protests have kicked off in Uganda, with hundreds of protesters taking to the streets to demonstrate against rampant corruption and abuse of human rights. Our reporter Fidelis Kenya explains more on this report.
Anti-government protests have kicked off in Uganda, with hundreds of protesters taking to the streets to demonstrate against rampant corruption and abuse of human rights. Ugandan security forces detained a number of young people in downtown Kampala who were taking part in a band rally. The protesters were holding placards and shouting slogans denouncing corruption. One wore a t-shirt bearing words, "Speaker must resign." Authorities banned the planned protest, citing intelligence which they said short criminal-minded youth might hijack it in order to loot and vandalize. Soldiers and police have been deployed around the parliament building and in the center of the Ugandan capital with the aim of deterring any protestants. President Museveni on Saturday 20th warned the public against holding what he called illegal demonstrations. He also stated that some of them from opposition are always working with the foreigners to foment chaos in Uganda riots, illegal demonstrations, and inconsiderate processions. He also added that those people who are unfair and inconsiderate and they should check on themselves and have no alternative but to check on themselves. Reporting for Kings TV, I'm Fidelis Mwirigi.
Let's take another short break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the world of sports with our sports journalist Felix Mbogo.
President William Ruto nominated several members to take over as cabinet secretaries. Kipchumba Murkomen, being one of them, was dismissed from his cabinet position last week. Now Kipchumba Murkomen has been nominated as the Youth Affairs, Creative Economy and Sports Cabinet Secretary. The former Transport Cabinet Secretary took over Ababu Namwamba, who served as the Sports Secretary and was among those fired from their positions. Looking at the transfer windows, Manchester United had a helping hand from legendary defender Ferdinand in pursuit persuading highly rated Lenny Yolo to join the club. Yolo was coveted by many Europe's clubs including Real Madrid this summer, but he plumbed for Manchester United, signing a 5-year contract after agreeing a 52 million move from French club Lille. Yolo's first United game was at Murrayfield, where he impressed on his debut in the pre-season victory over Rangers.
Earlier, before we asked your views towards the first and second batch of cabinet secretaries. Madenge Mary says the Gen Z are not satisfied with the tech. Karo Karemi says we should follow what the president says. While Wanja Kehio says the fired CSS are back with extra energy. Many thanks for joining our bulletin. Keep it Kings TV. See you in our next bulletin. For more information, follow us on our social media platforms, Facebook at Kings TV and YouTube at Kings Fraternity. I am Mary Kimani.